It may seem hard to believe, but the space we're currently sitting in is about 25 years in the making. That's a decade of learning how to produce and mix at a professional level, and then a remaining 15 years practicing acoustic design and treating spaces in less than ideal conditions. And with that story out of the way, I'm excited to welcome you to my new office, Ignition Studios, a private post-production facility located about 25 minutes away from Red Rocks, Colorado. We'll be christening the space with a few films that I have currently in progress, and then taking on new clients as the summer progresses through my Fictive Flame media brand. But for now, this is YouTube after all, and the algorithm loves a good studio tour. And if I'm honest, I do as well. So with the caveat that you don't need a space like this to be an effective creator in 2024, let's dive in and talk about some of the gear and the treatment that I've put in this space. To kick it off, I want to talk about the acoustic treatment that is on the walls. This is based on the 242 acoustic panel design from my friends at GIK Acoustics. Some of these panels even have diffusion baked in addition to the compressed fiberglass, which gives them a scattering effect at high frequencies and helps make the room just a little bit sharper. When you combine the effects of all the acoustic treatment in this room, you have a nearly flat response from 22 Hz all the way through 45 kHz. But of course, treatment is only so that you can hear the speakers clearly. And to provide amplification, I turned to my friends at Atom Audio. We're using their all-new A7V near-field active studio monitors, coupled with a Sub 12, which is under my desk, to provide frequency extension all the way from 75 Hz down to 20 Hz. And what's funny is, in my studios, it's often the speakers that draw attention. Here though, it's the stands. The stands are the ProRack stands from RAB Audio in the black and almond finish. And I gotta say, they look pretty great, don't they? As I've mentioned before, all of the lights in this room are from my friends at Amaran. We have two of the P60C LED panel lights behind me, and I'm lit by my Amaran Aperture 200XS using the 37-inch Godox softbox just immediately to camera left here. In the back corners, we have accent lighting, courtesy of the Amaran T4C, and I have those mounted on Manfrotto floor stands. Now, in addition to being a full post-production facility, this room also has the ability to stream live in 4K. That's something I haven't tested yet, but I'm excited to give it a run later on in the summer. Providing power for this whole rig is a smart UPS C1500 from American Power Conversion. I've used APC uninterruptible power supplies for many years now. And not only does the UPS functionality provide me the peace of mind to continue working when the power goes off, but the surge protection means that I have over $100,000 warranty on every piece of equipment that is in the studio. But I hear you saying, what's in the studio that makes it yours? Because every studio has to have its quirks, personal effects of the proprietor that give it color and art. And that's what this shelf over here in the corner is for me. If you take a look at the bookshelf, you'll find volumes on structural engineering, art and design in your city, photography, brewing, and almost anything else except audio production. Up here in the far corner, we also have signed memorabilia from Metric and Portugal the Man, as well as Sporky, the studio spork whale. Sporky is a piece of merchandise that I picked up at this past year's ETH Denver, and of course, he lives on chain. To me, Sporky represents a bright future for intellectual property licensing, which is something that we here at Ignition Studio fully support. I don't believe where you live and whether or not you have access to performing rights organizations should dictate whether you're able to make a living with your craft as an artist. And projects like Story Protocol, which are working to put intellectual property licensing on chain, are empowering a future for decentralized creatives. And that is something I'm excited about, because it means that no matter where you are or what business opportunities you may have in your own country, you still have the opportunity to make money with the art, doing the thing you love, and providing for your family in the process. Now that we've talked about the room itself, I think it's time to actually step outside and talk about the studio hallway. This is the space that welcomes you into Ignition and sets the tone for everything to come. Stepping into the studio hallway, the first thing you notice is memorabilia from Daft Punk's 10-year anniversary release of Random Access Memories. This was a record that, for me and many other producers, changed the perception of disco in the modern era. It brought back so many emotions that you hadn't felt in music in a long time, and for Daft Punk, fundamentally restructured what it meant to be a band going forward. And across the way, we have a poster from another disco legend, and that is the independent producer, Roosevelt. His album Polydance burst onto the scene a few years ago and gave me a taste of what modern funk production could sound like. Later on, he would release the album Embrace, which this poster is taken from. That album set a fire in the hearts of many disco and funk producers who thought that because Daft Punk was retiring, the art form would slowly die. Their unique blend of modern dance grooves, coupled with timeless soul and funk production, yielded a blend of music that was undeniably groovy. And I'm glad to announce that artists like Roosevelt are picking up the torch and proceeding forward from here. Well, that's about it. Studio tour for 2024. I have many productions that will be coming out of this space, and I'm excited to share them with you and take you along the ride. I'm here to share behind-the-scenes content and teach the process of filmmaking from day one. So, as we push into the summer, I hope you will stay tuned, like and subscribe for the algorithm, and of course, stay curious.